Alright, welcome everyone. I'm sure some of you, like me, just wrapped up the Monday Night Football game. My condolences to anyone with Aaron Rodgers on their fantasy team, or if Jets are your team. But it looks like the Jets are going to pull it out. The game's technically not over yet, I guess, but there's a minute 40 left. But I guess it's kind of been an underwhelming game for what it's worth, given the hype leading up to week one. I'm unable to update my stream decker, unfortunately, at the moment, so it's slightly off. There's a Quirion Ranger that I'm going to play tonight, and no third Chrome Mox. Also, we had a really good weekend on the behalf of the Cradle deck. So shout out to Michael Bonda for my apologies if I mispronounced their name, but they top eight the Saturday challenge, playing the Mox version of the list. Three Mox, I think he played essentially what Curran top eighted 2 weeks in a row. And then big shout out to always my good friend Yerg on making the top eight of the Super Qualifier also on Saturday. Now that obviously was the bigger and big event for the month, I would say. Um, so congratulations to Yerg. He played a list very close to what we're trying tonight. I had posted a list on Patreon and on the Patreon server Friday, and he played 71 of the 75, and two of those cards were the Mox difference. So really, the two sideboard cards were the really only true difference if you're not feeling Chrome Mox, which I think can take some getting used to for some pilots. Jurg obviously doesn't have an issue with that. He just mentioned that he didn't want to play Chrome Mox because he anticipated more of a control meta. Oh, thank you everyone from Justin's stream. So I just started, but welcome everyone. I was just mentioning that my good friend Aaron Relentless top eight the Super Qualifier on Saturday with 71 of the 75 of the list I posted on Patreon. Here's my social again. Actually, shout out to Justin for the raid as always. Justin, the person I default to the most when it comes to vintage. Anything regarding vintage, right? I will. Okay, I will do that. My apologies, Francisco. So I posted a list on Patreon, and you're being the strong pilot that he is. He top eight the Super on Saturday. I couldn't play because I was out of town. I hadn't played a big event since March, I think. But I do, at least right now, I think I can play the PTQ or whatever they're calling it these days at the end of this month. So that will be nice. I am doing good. The baby is asleep at the moment, but it was a pretty rough weekend because it was our first flight with the baby, and you probably know more than others of Francisco, given that you have your own kids now. That was pretty rough. Like, not gonna lie, traveling with a baby was not easy. Um, but we managed through, and it was to see my wife's cousin's son's baptism slash first birthday. So that was pretty cool. Uh, got some rest, I guess, because he slept well, but the travel itself was a little bit rough. Hey, HC Fox. I mean, we're doing better, right? We had none, I think, not too long ago, and now we have one Hydra again, HC Fox. So I think it's kind of cool that Justin rated me at a pretty good time. We were just starting the night, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I mentioned you can play with or without Chrome Mox. I think Chrome Mox is, I would agree with your assessment, probably slightly worse against Control. But I think helps in some of the more difficult matchups, such as prison matchups, such as Lands and Moon Stompy. I think is where Chrome Mox really shines. Uh, Helps a lot against combo as well, but that's not what it's really for. And I think it is a slight benefit against tempo, is my assessment, and probably a little bit worse against control. At least post board for sure. Pre board, there's an argument to be made. It actually might help because you have so many dead cards, anyways. But long story short, the list I had recommended. Actually, I'll bring it up. I just since it's I guess somewhat easy to find. So here's Jurg's list. I don't know why they post. Actually, yeah. Here's Jurg's list. I posted this exact. Well, not exact, but I posted the exact main deck outside of the two mocks on Friday, and then his sideboard is +1 Cabal Therapy and +1 Opposition Agent, whereas the list I had posted on my Patreon was Mesmeric Fiend and a Fairy Macabre. So very close. Jurg and I have frequently worked together in the past. I think obviously the big one was when he won Eternal Weekend. Uh, that weekend I had also it's the only, actually, ironically, the only Eternal Weekend event I've ever played, and I was lucky because I started 0-1 and then won 8 in a row to make the top 8 as well. And then the very next morning, because he played the second event that he won, he messaged me when I woke up. I found out he was like, I think in the top 4, top 8 at the time of the of Eternal Weekend, and then ended up winning, which was pretty cool. Like I was very happy to see that. I think without further ado, if nobody has any questions regarding the list, I think both versions are fine for what it's worth. It's only 2 cards delta, anyways, with or without mocks. My personal opinion, I think the power level of mocks is worth playing, but it 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 is a little bit harder to play with for what it's worth too. So I know some people are struggling with that. Obviously, I'm trying Quirion Ranger tonight. I played it in one league, just because my good buddy Inigo Runcor recommended it, and I was a little bit skeptical because the last time I played it, like it was kind of more of the same, right? It was like okay, but nothing spectacular. But I mentioned this on Patreon, but the big change is I think Shepherd is a lot worse now because there's just more black cards because of addition to 2 Bowmasters main. Um, and with mocks, the land count is technically lower, so I think Quirion Ranger felt like it did more yet last night in the one league that I played than it had previously. And Shepherd is like low key probably the worst card in the deck. Is that the one that I don't even know? Maybe I don't have the right one. I apologize if I don't even have the right Quirion Ranger. But I thought I had the right one, but I don't know why it says promo there. Yeah, okay, that's good. Thank you, Frisky Business. How has everything? Is Francisco still watching? I hope everything was good. I know there was a Nightwear event that somebody tagged me that they top aided, and I know Francisco out there in Tarzana. So I wasn't sure if you played or not, but I know one of these days we gotta grab drinks, Francisco. All right, let's see how it goes. I don't know what's going on with my screen, but it keeps like doing this. Speaking of Quirion Ranger, here we are. I think we keep, right? So not only do we have Chromos, but we have the Quirion Ranger in hand, so we're really going to see how this turns out. Or how it plays out, at least in theory. Question is, what do we pitch, if anything? Ooh. I feel like I'm going to get Dark Ritual, Opposition Agent right now. And we don't really have. Wait, I'm not gonna leave with Arbor. Okay, thank goodness they don't have it. There's an outside chance they mulligan a 6. Actually, they mulligan a 5. There's an outside chance they're on Reanimator. I think given that we have the land drop, we can pitch the Quirion Ranger. Because I do think I definitely, if they're somehow on Reanimator and have like maybe whiff on their turn 2 or something, there's a chance we can maybe like power through it, but it's looking kind of dicey. You don't play Chrome Mox. I've been liking it personally. I started with 3, and my gut feeling is even though the power level. Okay, yeah, this is my guess, right? I thought we were gonna potentially get, if not Dark Ritual Agent, because they didn't do anything turn 1 on their turn 1 sorcery speed. I thought there was a chance it could be Reanimator, and that's what it looks like it's gonna be. I personally like Chromox. I don't think three was the right number because unlike Once Upon a Time, okay, we're dead. It's okay. We'll see post sport. But unlike Once Upon a Time, the second one is like really, really dead. Outside of like hitting it off a Traxa, but that's almost win more. Like you shouldn't be losing if you have a Traxa in play. But what I like about Chromox is two different things. It helps in the coin flip slash harder matchups such as Lands, Moon Stompy, the prison decks, and the really fast combo decks. So I think that is worth a lot to me. And the second thing I like about Chromox is with the presence of black decks, turn one Thoughtseize is pretty common, and sometimes they take your turn one play, and you don't have a second one. So I've had games where I go turn one Mox Fiend Artisan, and that is like huge in my opinion. Like I don't think you can just like turn one pass in this kind of deck. It, the deck is built. It doesn't really get advertised, but the deck is in a lot of ways like a Moonstompy type or Ancient Tomb deck because I guess we can just F6. Uh, you don't really want to waste mana, and that is one benefit that I had not really considered when I added Chroma. I just wanted to like curve out a turn faster and helps in a lot of these racing conditions, but that is one benefit that has been nice that I actually overlooked right when I because a lot of times you don't want to go turn one artisan, but if you have Cradle, you can like do things like get God off Teague or Collective turn two. Obviously, like worse against something like Bowmasters, right? Because you don't want your one fiend to die. But in that case, presumably they turn one discard you. Looks like it's like mono black reanimator. That would be the only explanation I think for zombie infestation. That's true. They do make Hydras a turn quicker. That is something I again. Here are my socials again. I get asked a lot about like how to learn this deck. I think if I'm giving my honest opinion, the best way to learn is probably just to watch the streams. Obviously, it hurts if I don't play well, but or maybe it helps. I don't know. It depends on the person, right? Like maybe if I make mistakes, that's better too for learning purposes. But I think I posted some links before, but like YouTube or Twitch is probably the best way to learn the deck, in my opinion. The second way is like after you got the reps and want to further get better, I guess. I do think the exercise of like looking through the sideboard map of what I recommend versus I mean you don't even have to follow it exactly to be honest, but I think the exercise of doing that and then comparing is worth a lot. So there is my Patreon, but again I think that's like secondary if anything. Also, there's a lot of good free content on my Discord. Um, a lot of times, the latest list will just be posted just because either Jurg or Curran or Inigo, somebody does well, and their list is maybe not exact, but close to what I recommend. It's possible I should be conceding right now, but I was just catching everybody up. If for anybody who wants to fill me in, how did Justin's stream go? Anybody coming for those coming from his vintage stream? I always enjoy my interactions with Justin have been nothing but not only respect, but I worked with him to brew I guess the vintage version of the Fiend Artisan, and even before that the Elf deck, and it was definitely one of the more fun experiences I've had like deck building because I got to work with another individual. So I'm trying to figure out what is going on. Okay, so they're on mono black. That's kind of a given already. I don't think there's any way out of this, but I could be wrong. Oh, that makes sense. So he essentially it sounds like Justin was just porting the uh, they're gonna bash for all, and we can only block. 10, 13. So I have to block. There is like a line where we live here, I guess. So we'll just pass. Actually, if they discard more, we just die. So we'll see what they do here. We're not dead yet. We're gonna have to block. Ancestral Misdirection. That was pretty sick. Wow, jeez. Yeah, actually, I played it against Up the Beanstalk for the first time yesterday in the league that I ran with Queen Ranger. Uh, my gut feeling is it can be okay if they're ahead, but it didn't feel as bad. It didn't feel as bad for us as I would have thought. Like because like it's a two mana at the end of the day doesn't affect the board, right? Like they kind of have to already be ahead or even at least. Maybe even is probably the better phrasing. So I want even though they a lot of times it's because the way our deck is built is like Moon Prison almost. Okay, I mean we have no choice. Actually, we're just dead. I have the bog here, but I shouldn't have done that because I forgot about the Void Walker. It doesn't really matter to be honest. They have to like screw up completely here, right? Let's see. I'm just gonna concede because we're dead regardless. Instead of wasting time, and maybe they think we don't have the bog. Snuff Out is ambitious. I actually think Snuff Out's great right now. I know there's a lot of people who disagree with me on this because there's a lot of black decks in the metagame. My point is like there's outside of Opposition Agent, like what do we care about that's black? Because the one thing that I've heard is like there's a lot of black decks, but like what is not hit by Snuff Out outside of Opposition Agent, which is only one deck really, right? I mean maybe two, I guess, depending on how you look at things. Oops, wrong one. So they have the fair plan. I don't think I'm playing around that. I think I'm trying to just beat their unfair plan. I don't think I like Teague. Okay, well, I forgot what was I gonna say. Bowmasters probably doesn't do anything in this matchup. Well, I guess they have Gristlebrand, but like, cut the Shepherd. Actually, Bowmaster is good against. What am I? I'm tripping out here. This is my mapping. Okay, that looks right. What was I gonna say? Merrick Fiend. That looks right. This is actually really good in this match because it lets you attack with Reclaimer too. And that can really add up damage. Now I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, Snuff Out. Yeah, my personal opinion is, yeah, outside of Opposition Agent, like, what do we care about that we need to kill that isn't handled by Snuff Out, right? Like, and not to mention, if you play something like a Dismember, I think you lose. That's gonna cost you games against Initiative, in my opinion, which is like a popular counter deck against Shadow, or these Demir decks, right? In my day, it was just Underground Sea, right? But yeah, I think Snuff Out just frees a lot better, and I just don't think the presence of like Agent out of one or two decks is not enough to scare me off of it. Mm, there's Ramp. I'm not sure how much it buys us. We have the Seize. I think we keep. There's a good chance this hits like Endurance or Reclaimer. I'm gonna fetch first Thin as well. I want a 5. Like even in the blue black deck, their threat base is black. It's Troll, right? But The thing about Troll is it's a two card combo. Hey Mike, how's it going? And not only is it a two card combo, not only is it a two card combo, but it's vulnerable to endurance, which is a 4x in our deck, right? So that's kind of like my argument. Ugh. So I think I'm gonna take the Gris here, but it's a little bit scary because I don't want them to reanimate it, right? But we don't have much of a clock otherwise, so we'll see, I guess. Maybe this is the wrong move. I'm not supposed to do that. Dothy Voidwalker. Yeah, turn one Dark Ritual. They if I take the Seas, they can turn one this. That's probably okay, and then I take down their Voidwalker down the road, and then I just protect Gris. I think that's the game plan. And then there's no reason to do it right now. This is kind of neat, right? This is the turn two, well, sort of. Alright. We're not going to play the Gris because it can just attack it first turn. I think we're just going to go Noble into... Wisner sitting. Oh, I see. He's texting me right now. Maybe I should be responding. I'll deal with it later. So, depend. We're just playing around discard, right? Hopefully they didn't top deck it. What was a known card? I think it was that. Alright. I think here... I'm gonna kill this and then... Because otherwise they can attack it anyways. And then we get one tick down, tick up, I guess. Then we can kill a second thing. Hey Geodude, how's it going? Sorry, not Geodude, Jared. I think I just bash with this and see what happens. So here's the other argument I hear a lot about Chrome Mox, that it's a bad late game card. It's not really that much worse than a land, right? Like, even you top deck it, it's just like at this point in the game, it's slightly worse than a land, but the benefits up front, I think, if it matters, is so much more. Uh-oh. That's not what I want to see. Sure. No worries, you're not late at all. You're gonna hopefully see us beat out Atraxa here. It's gonna look grim, but what are we gonna do? It's unfortunate that our once missed. That I think was the hard part. We had like 9 hits, right? Like between Reclaimer and Endurance, and the one fairy, and didn't see any of it. Obviously, that's can happen. I think we can even run the numbers in real time. I suspect it's like somewhere between 60-ish%. I don't remember off the top of my head, but the point is we didn't hit, and unfortunate. And I was counting on that hit to pair with a Thoughtseize, right? Otherwise, our hand would be significantly better. We aren't dead yet, but we're probably in a lot of trouble. Yeah, that would have been better, but they played around it. I mean, we have 4 open mana, so presumably, if our opponent is on Reanimator, they know about that, or they it's at least potentially on their mind, right? Maybe they didn't play around by accident, but I'm giving my opponent the benefit of the doubt here. It's okay. Like we're just here. I think I learned a lot from the previous stream. For those who don't know, last Wednesday I streamed and went 0-3 into 0-2 in between the two leagues. Misplayed a few times here and there, but I think I had actually it was the first time I 0-5 on stream, and but I think the big takeaway for me at least was besides trying to play tighter, obviously, was if I don't really worry about the results and just be and orient my goal around learning and educate and being the stream being educational. I had a lot more fun doing that way, and honestly, I still had a lot of fun even though it was a 0-5 stream, right? So we're gonna have to kill that Traxa here. It is not. I think we're playing against like kind of a newer player, because it's mono black. But the deck is like very consistent. Well, that might help actually. Hey, Romano, how's it going? Wow. Okay. I did not expect that to get there. They tend to. Well, yeah, they could have top decked it, but I don't know. Maybe they only have like strange. Yeah, I mean, I kind of mentioned it too. Like, it was an 0-5 a league. It was 2 leagues, and then 0-3 the first league, and then 0-2, and I finished the league like later on off stream. But the point was, I played 5 matches and lost every single one, and I punted the last one unfortunately too because I just like uh, tunnel vision because I had the snuff out kill against Doomsday and just like threw the game for no reason. Usually, I think the Doomsday matchup is like decent for us, but not when you misplay like I did. Um, I think this is fine. We just run it back. This is kind of how I board, even if they're like on blue red. I mean, not blue red, black red. I think after this stream, one second. I'm getting these messages right now that I want to make sure it's nothing urgent. I'm presuming that they're about fantasy football. Actually, congratulations to anybody who what's it called won their first week. I did, but kind of got lucky to be honest. I had a pretty well balanced team. I don't think my team is like anything great for what it's worth. This has a turn to kill. Oh, sorry, not too. Is a reclaimer on the draw is too slow? I think. I think we keep this. I keep the arbor here for what it's worth as a pitch. Oh, I'm sorry, Romario. For those who don't know, Romario's a Giants fan, and anybody who watched last night's game knows exactly why that was not good. All right, they go for the turn one. Reasonable. There's only 4 endurance, presumably, in our deck, right? Yeah, that is a good point, Romar. Yeah, they forgot that the season had started. They thought it was still the preseason. Uh, truth be told, I was rooting slightly for. Oops. Okay, so we got the win. We didn't really do anything except just mull to turn one or turn zero hit, right? So the irony about this matchup is like, if we had kept the Thoughtseize, we lose most likely. But I think it's one of those things you have to live with, right? I don't think we can have. My personal opinion is I don't think we can just mold to turn zero. So like, if they have to turn one, they have to turn one. It's just like something you live with, and I think we have to keep Thoughtseize hand. That's in like there's a phrase called range of keeps, and I think Thoughtseize is in our range of keeps. I don't like Reclaimer because it's turn two interaction on the draw, but I think you just live with it. If they turn one you and you only have Thoughtseize in your hand, right? We're not blue deck, so it is what it is. Okay, I am gonna go and take a quick break to use the restroom and get more water. Uh, for those who want to, don't go easy a little bit on Romario. He's probably still wounded from yesterday's Giants, game. If you want to use that in quotations. Yeah, you don't give his thoughts exactly. All right, I am back. Being a Giants fan, I love it, Jared. I love it. Uh, One thing I really want to do, and unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna happen this year. Is at some point I do want to attend Eternal Weekend in person. Um, like I said, I played the 2021 Eternal Weekend, the one dedicated for North America, and at least as of right now, I can say I have a 100% conversion rate. Right, I didn't play last year's because I couldn't attend, and I did not want to pull an all-nighter essentially to play the one that was like midnight last year. And then this year, I think it's gonna be unlikely because the baby's still pretty young. I think right now I'm targeting for paper, hopefully something next year. We'll see. Obviously, maybe things change. Yeah, I think I saw that actually. That Jared's playing goblins. I don't know if I paired into him or whatnot, but or maybe I checked like different discords from time to time. My favorite discord that's not that is my own, obviously, I guess, right? Is actually the lands discord, and then my second favorite one is actually the doomsday favorite. Those are the two discords I actually check the most, and for very different reasons actually. The lands one, I think I like to check because not only is the lands one there, it's also the depths one. I guess it's a two in one, right? You get a twofer. And I think there's just a lot of similarities between some of these decks. So I guess I draw some inspiration from the I guess the other green decks, right? If you want to call it that. As far as Doomsday, I think it's just some of my favorite people are in there, so that's probably why. I don't know what Morrow 66 is on. I think I would just keep this in the dark. Let's just fetch. I'm gonna try to. Yeah, I mean, I told this to Romario one time. One of the times I was checking the Doomsday Discord, and it was by chance, obviously. Uh, Possibly, I don't know what they're on. It says last seen Merfolk, but I don't know what that means. Okay, Island seems like it's Merfolk. Aetherval is definitely Merfolk, I think. I'm gonna just try to shut off their vial here. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I saw somebody on Doomsday post. I was just checking by choice. Like they had posted a triple opposition agent version of Doomsday, and I was like, why would they do that? Like, and then the comment was they thought Cradle Control, right, our deck, was one of the best decks in the format, and they want to be ready. So I told Romario, so I was simultaneously flattered and scared because for anybody who knows, if you want to hose out our deck, I think the best card is to do so is Opposition Agent, and by a significant amount actually. It's a very scary card for us to deal with. Yeah, I've never been so flattered, simultaneously flattered and scared at the same time because I do not want to play against a deck with Dark Ritual Opposition Agent. So like, I don't even think it's an unwinnable matchup, but like the Helm deck is like a deck I personally do not want to play against, like because there's an easy way to just get cheese out of the game, right? I don't even know what their stuff does. I mean, I probably should read it. Mm. Okay, I was definitely not playing around this card because it's not on my radar. Like for one, I guess. Yeah, that is the fear that you don't get to play Magic, right? I think some Lord is gonna come in. Oh God, sure. Oh, what is going on? I can't cast Atraxa with the current configuration. I guess I just take the Cradle. Guess they have Wasteland. And then I'll just pass the turn, I guess. For what it's worth, this is historically one of our better matchups. But we are drawing kind of poorly, so there's that. They're going to bat for 9 here, presumably, because of the Island Walk. I think we have lethal, but I don't want to jinx it. I need to do the math again. That helps. I just want to make sure I do this correctly. Everything will get +4, +5, +5. That's 15, 20. That should be. I think we needed to hit a creature for what it's worth. Now we can, you know. Like I said, this is one of our better matchups. It's because both sides don't really interact with each other, and our goldfish is slightly faster. Cause we're, hey Dukes, how's it going? Yeah, things are going good. You know, luckily I have friends who make me look good, right? Like, I'm referencing your top 8 from the last weekend in the Super Qualifier. Congrats to him again, and also congrats to Michael Bonda. I think I apologize if I'm butchering the last name. I don't know if the E is silent or not, but or Michael Bond, but both top eighted the what's it called, the challenge and the super respectively. And in Yurik's case, played essentially my list. The difference was he didn't play the 2 Chrome Mox, and he had 2 cards off in the sideboard. Yeah, I think this list is like just incredibly solid, and I think also I'm like still tuning it because I think I like I'm trying the Quirion Ranger now tonight. People have been upset at me. I cut all the elves from the deck, right? So I added 1 back in. Granted, I cut 1 to make room, so the net is still 6 total, right? 4 Reclaimer, 1 Shepherd, 1 Quirion Ranger. But I guess the number of unique elves has gone up by 1, right? It's 3 now instead of 2. Alright, we are playing against Merfolk, and this is like very much a tempo matchup. Needle is like okay if I want to hit. I don't think I want that. This is like kind of bad too. I feel like we want snuff outs, and needle footed vial is like pretty good, I guess. Anything else we care about? I don't think Bowmasters does anything in this matchup, but I could be wrong. Gris is even worse, I think, right? Like outside of maybe killing some random hate bears. Maybe we'll keep 1 to tutor for. Mez Fiend probably. Well, it's probably better than a Gris. I don't really like any of the other stuff. It's a speculative hand, but I think we keep. It's not great. I keep most hands for what it's worth. The exception is if I know I'm playing against combo. Like there's like specific cards that matter. In a fair matchup, I tend to keep most hands. I think we ramp. I don't think we. Well, I guess we have a lot of lands. I don't think we care if they waste our value. Uh, unfortunately, I'm not familiar with their deck enough to know like what flash they might have. Looks like we're gonna find out here. Sure. That's pretty cool, I guess. I think we do this. And save the green sun for just a payoff. Now I kind of regret not putting the grist in the deck, but you know, it is what it is. I don't think we're gonna kill a 2-mana 2/2. It's not worth it. I think we'd rather go kill like one of their lords or something. More ETB stuff. More ETB. What am I looking for here? I feel like casting it once here is just too awful. Like, what are we trying to do here? I think we just get an artisan and just like hope we draw well, right? Kind of mad, not mad, sorry. Kind of annoyed that they didn't play any lords yet. I'm like miscalculating what their deck is like. Like I don't want to kill these things. I might have to because the life matters. This is like really aggravating. Yeah, I think it's just, we're gonna go 13 and then at a virtual 9 there we cast Snuff out. I don't even know which one's better. I'll just pass. Yeah, then more of those. It's like a fish type deck, I guess, right? Like, that is a pretty good draw. Don't hate that. We could take 4. Actually, double blocking is like not the worst too. Like, cause it grows the fiend too, right? There's that lord. There's a. We get blown out by combat. I feel. They have the lord that pumps. I think it's like 2 mana too. Yeah. Ugh. It's like aggravating. Can we go to 7? We probably can't. Well, if it. If we triple block, that kills one for sure. And maybe that's just the safe move, right? If they have a 3/3, yeah, we better do that. I feel like we're gonna get blown out by that flash lord that pumps. At least the end result is what we thought, right? Like we want that's what we wanted to happen, and they didn't have a pump. Luckily, I don't think they do because if they had the pump, they would have killed the reclaimer. Sure. Hmm. How do I want to do this? I kind of regret. I kind of regret not bring. Well, I guess the reclaimer can be a 3/4, right? Like if I get that, makes our thing bigger. Oh, actually, the problem is I just realized. We have the Mez Fiend, but definitely want to get Cradle this turn. We'll go to 8. I'm gonna leave this back to block. They may miss the trick. I doubt it, but I don't know. Ooh, that's not what I want to see. I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I didn't expect them to miss that. Fiend is getting close to lethal though, and now it is. I think it is. Let me see. 5, 10, 10 plus 12, 22. Like most of their stuff dies. Yeah. The question here is like, do we just get Atraxa if that's the case? I don't think they can. Well, it's a little bit scary, right? They have the tide shape, and suddenly that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also, it's entirely possible. I don't know. I'm like a little bit nervous. Let's see. So it's 5, 10 plus 12. That's 22. 22, and they can soak. Well, these two. They can soak the trickster, and then this lives and this lives. And does anything from ours dies? I don't think so, but I'm afraid of the true name just like walling up against us, right? I feel like this is a play. Oh, interesting. That is a good point. I like forgot about that, but yeah, that's actually lethal now. All right, Dukes, you're the man. I know, right? This is the first match. I guess it's a sign, right? How funny. Well, actually, no, it's the same, right? 13. Well, yeah, yeah. Never, never. I take that back, Dukes. I quickly rewarded you too much, but it does grow. One nice thing is it does untap Artisan, so that is like relevant, I guess. All right. Anyways, that was pretty cool, I guess. Obviously, my Queen Ranger map is like rusty. Yes, that's right, Dukes. It's okay. I think we scared our opponent, right, with the fake out. That's true. And also, for what it's worth, I think having a Queen Ranger on board is better than having the Arbor because you can like untap the Artisan to a block for racing conditions. But I think they're the problem is like if they had exactly the tide shaper, we probably lose, right? So I think maybe it's a force. It's a forced. What is it called? It's a forced hoof there because we lose to the tide shaper otherwise. That's true. Although I wouldn't say I have a brand recognition. I keep running out of water quickly. I'm gonna refill as this loads. I don't know what my opponent is on. I feel like they're on combo though, for what it's worth. If you don't keep this hand, then you shouldn't play Mox. Maybe hit a cradle here. It's not. That's okay. Um. I'm firing this off like in no questions asked. Our opponent is probably like, WTF is going on? Why do they have 4 permanents in play already? Oh my god, don't tell me it is Cascade. I don't enjoy that matchup at all. So, question here is like, what is our opponent on? It's turn two. Yeah, we still have Teague. It's turn two. Our opponent hasn't done anything yet. Like, there's a couple of things I would put them on at this point. Like, Sneak and Show is one of them. Another one is the Cascade deck. I'm trying to think what is represented by Volk. And then we do this and pass. I don't know what they're on. I don't think they're combo because I don't think they're combo because hey, good morning, Inigo. How's it going? Snare? What is going on? I haven't seen that card in a while, but I guess maybe people are just like overreacting to Bowmasters. Snare. Oh my god. I'm telling you right now, I'm not playing around this card like ever. So like, if you want to get me with that card, you can. That's presumably on a fair deck, right? Like that bolt. I'm guessing Stoneblade. I don't know who mentioned it. Somebody mentioned it. XG Fox. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Wasteland is the thing too, I guess. Maybe on the Just Cut Blade. It's like some flash shenanigans, probably. I don't even know. Like they're not even wasting our cradle for some reason, for reasons unknown, right? Uh, what am I trying to play around here? It can be like anything. I don't even know what to play. Hey, Star Fox, how's it going? I guess I plus. The question here is like whether to play a land or not. They can waste this certainly. My gut feeling is we hold the land here. Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on from my opponent here. I'm like very confused. Sure. That's something else I thought it could be. What did they do? They played a Volk first. Maybe I'm supposed to hardcast this. I mean, but like these are the type of decks that would have like Supreme Verdict too, for what it's worth. They messed up by playing the island. I may not have. Maybe they forced us. I don't even know. If they do that, I don't think I mind. On the bright side, we wasted the removal on whatever. We lost our grist, so that's kind of sucky. I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, I thought about it. Like, maybe I'm supposed to just main phase it when they're tapped out. I was just like a little bit paranoid about Supreme Verdict, but I don't know what the heck is in their deck. These hierarchs are there's like the MVPs right now though, getting in for 4 damage each time. Okay, that's annoying. I don't know. I lose patience when I play against a deck that I don't think is a meta deck. So if I had done that correctly, They would not have been, but the problem is they would have just snapped, plow snap, right? But I guess if we have more creatures, we do it that way. Instead of bolting the Gris, they would just plow something else. I don't think we care, right? Oh, actually, they maybe have more shark tokens. That would be annoying. That would be annoying. What is gonna happen here? I I feel like they're not advantaged by casting the standstill, but I could be wrong. I mean, I think they have another shark. Then we're screwed. All right. Ugh, I hate this kind of decks. This is just annoying. And we have our lair of the Hydra in the yard. That is a bummer. I feel like we lost this game, but I wonder if it would have mattered. My guess is probably not. Like, sure, we have Gris on the battlefield for a few more turns, but I think the Gris is gonna not be long for the world, if that makes sense. I'm not gonna trade here. I should not have played that actually. There's no reason. Well, yeah, there's no reason to play the thing right now. We draw a natural order that we can do the same turn, but I should probably be blocking the Snapcaster. But it's not like we're low on life. I think now is probably the time to block Snapcaster. Thank you for the follow, by the way. uh, there's one more turn, I guess. It feels like they have another thing coming here, and they do. We just lost anyways, so we might as well attack. We'll just pass. Let's see what's going on. What's going on here? This puts us to 1. Ah, they cannot attack. They can the next turn, for what it's worth. guess we look. No harm done. All right. I don't even know how to play against this deck. Like, don't think we want endurance. Uh, what do we want? Like typically against this kind of deck. Thank you, decent. Let's see. Snuff out, probably not. Mess Fiend and discard probably okay, maybe. I feel like they're kind of a control deck. Um, they're probably I don't know if it's maybe it's a Teague matchup, maybe not. What if it is a Teague matchup? What are we cutting? Bog doesn't seem particularly good against this kind of deck. Maybe it can steal a game. Hey, cooldown max. There's that, yeah. So ideally here we just go like turn to Grist, right, with the Shepherd protection. But more realistically, I think we just go turn to Artisan. It's questionable, but I feel like the play patterns are not going to be suitable for the play patterns not going to be suitable for Bog. But I could be wrong. I think here we just like DGAF, right? Like just run everything out. All right. I think here we're slamming Grist. No question. Yeah, it's probably just unwinnable, right? yeah. I just don't think they're gonna beat Gris, right? All right. Just the way these games play out, I just don't know if we want Bog. I don't know if that's the type of game. See, the thing is, like people, I realize the mana bases in Legacy are just so shaky that it probably yields a lot of free wins, and our mana base is actually like rock pun on 10, rock solid. So like when people go for the cheese lines against us, it like never works or rarely works, I should say. They probably do, Dukes. But I don't know. I don't know their. All right. I guess the question is like Bog versus Teague. The thing is like standstill forces us to go underneath, and there's a chance that they just like try to get us to do that, and then try to like supreme, and that's where I think I like Teague to just like shut that out if that makes sense. Um, I don't love like any of these other cards to be honest. Agreed, dude. That's my logic too. Hmm. If we're not playing this, then we ain't playing. We shouldn't play Mox. We're not keeping this. Let's see if they counter this. Who knows? Maybe they aggressively force because they think we don't have a removal. I mean, a land. I know, right? Again, the four permanents on turn one. Sure. I think I like that. I think they had turn two standstill. That's the logic though why they would do something like that. Hmm. I think we crack now, and hope they don't have it. Grist for the biscuit. They ain't being this card. Maybe they have ending. I don't know. I know, attracts cast T. That's pretty funny. I think we are gonna T pretty soon, but I could be wrong. No pending, yeah, because they had to brainstorm. Maybe they pending our Chromox. Who the heck knows? We don't have lethal, and we aren't anywhere close. Here comes Teague. Might be a snare coming. Who the heck knows? Counterspell, okay, sure. We are gonna slam this pretty much no matter what here. If they have it, they have it. How many counterspells do they have? Ugh. That's annoying. I think a creature is gonna get us right now, but I think we have to attack and be aggressive. My guess is it's gonna be Typhoon for 2. Yep. I guess not, Michael. I don't think. Just please, no more typhoons. That's the only thing I ask. Thank goodness. Wow. They really cannot beat a Gris. That's so funny. That is hilarious. Like they had all the permission too. They had the ancestral, but I guess they just cannot beat a Gris. It's pretty hilarious. All right. So far so good. I'm gonna use the restroom again real quick and then be right back. Seriously? No. In the midst of something special. I think in addition to that, I think another big takeaway there. Oops, I need a little water. Thanks, decent. I think another big takeaway there is standstill is sort of like a prison deck, and the Chrome Mox actually I think won the game to be honest. Like obviously, Gris had a lot to do with it, but we were able to essentially accelerate out Gris because of the Chrome Mox. What that did was it forced pressure on our opponent to force our because we're gonna have too much board presence, right? We have 4 permanents on turn one. Oh no, we're playing against Max. Um, Max said hi, mom. I think. Let me see. We can pitch that or the ones. I think we just keep. I don't know what he's on. Last time we played against him, he was on Doomsday with Ring. Paul into Ponder. I wonder if it's Delver. That's true, XD Fox. I think here. I feel like we take the Artisan. I thought about the Shepherd for a second, but I'm not. I don't really want to take Shepherd. It's like a lot can go wrong. Taiga. Definitely wasn't expecting that. I think here. What I should have done, well, it's gonna end up being the same, but what I probably should have done was just play a fetch and not fetch, and then bait out the force. Here, there's really no need to attack. Let's pass. There's a world we get blown out by brainstorm and then mill. Sure. It doesn't matter, but question here is like, do I want to play around days? The answer is probably yes. Why play Bowmasters there? Because I wanted to kill it. I'm not sure I understand the question, Gamer Champ. If it draw a force. So right here, it's interesting. I can go artisan into if they have the days, they have the days. I think we play into days here, because I want a natural order soon. So that's good. We can go to 9 here. Uh, the artisan might draw a bolt. And if that's the case, we're gonna go for Atraxa, and hopefully that's game. The grist here is somewhat dead, so I think we can play through days next turn if they don't kill the arbor. magmatic, maybe? I see he's trying to pave. It might be a magmatic sinkhole, whatever that's called. Oh, that's not what I want to see. Jeez, that is not what I want to see. Yeah, I guess it is. I thought it could be that, but wow, that's just kind of insane. We have no choice here. This is a forced play. And then we're gonna hope Max doesn't have the blast bolt. And then if he doesn't, then we stabilize with Atraxa. Um, I'm trying to think how we get punished here. I don't want to mill right now. I think we play through days here, just in case. And then I think I fetch in response. Mox. Endurance once. Probably the bog. Like, what are the others? The other stuff I don't think matters. Oh my god, they do have the. Oh my god. So the funny thing is, I fetched a thin, but then like I wasn't playing around the borrower, and I think I probably stabilized because I can pitch cast endurance, like trade here, go to one maybe, and that probably well actually to be fair, Max does have a another borrower coming out, so I think maybe we just lose anyway. I don't know what the wow, that was close. Okay. Yeah, HC Fox called it. I think we okay. It depends what we would have drawn. I think the way Max probably attacks both. I have to force trade and pitch cast endurance there. Um, yeah, I mean it's hard to say, right? All right, that was incredibly tight. Very cool game. Pretty cool game. Let me think. I want the snuff out. I'm gonna board out the natural orders. Uh, we got close but couldn't finish the deal there, I guess. So I'm mentioning to Max that yeah, even though I punted there, I think it was good because I learned something, and so the punt is a good thing because he was saying he had ball on top too, so no harm done, right? And you get a learning. It's a good learning experience. All right, we get a board into the no natural order here configuration. Ooh. I think we keep, but I don't love it. I actually like it when people wasteland me because our deck floods. All right, we gotta get creatures here though. Not what I really want. I mean, I think Shepherd turn one is just too weak of a play. I just gotta hope not opponent, Max just kills my stuff, right? Or wastes me. I think the likely play here, depending what he does, is probably Shepherd into a Fiend. We walk into a sweeper, but like, unfortunately, our hand dictates it. I think that's okay. I think the ideal is a one drop here, so we can be mana efficient. That is not what I want to see. That is not what I want to see. Sure. I think the Macabre's gonna hit the bauble in the Dragon Rage Channeler. We're not gonna trade. I think ideally, well, probably has this is tough because this wants to be endurance for what it's worth. There's a pretty decent chance Max has Bolt. Wow, up to Beanstalk is kind of crazy. I wonder what fives is in that deck besides Force. Oh, Magmatic Sinkhole, I guess. Well, that like definitely changes my play. Although Max doesn't have the answer for the Fiend as of right now, unless I get hit with the Fury. So I can. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I spoke too soon, right? I said the death card. So I'm gonna get hit three here. There's possible submerge too, but I think if he has submerge, he would submerge like right now. So I don't think I want to pitch any creatures. I think I just want to like nuke the yard right now with the endurance. Mm, I guess I attack. It's kind of free. But the beanstalk is pretty cool here though. Yeah, I guess there's Fury. Lorien is another one. I just was having a hard time trying to think of the fives in that deck. It is pretty neat. I'm just my only concern was is whether it's consistent or not. Like if you can get it to be consistent, it's for sure neat. I think now. Ooh, okay. Probably it's the arbor. Yeah, that's pretty heads up. Uh, sure. Mm, hit the loam and up the beanstalk. I think is the call here. I think Daze is good in this matchup for what it's worth. I think Daze is good in this matchup because a win, the way a win plays out is you have tempo with Daze and Daze is good. I don't think you're winning a long game against our deck. So Max is saying he actually forgot about the fairy because he saw it off the bobble. Um, magic is hard. It happens. I think here I don't want to pitch any of these cards, so I'm just gonna bash. Might be a Murktide Regent. Oh, of course. What am I saying? That that's also a five. This was pointed out above. I think I probably wasn't paying attention. Okay, what? I don't know what we're talking about. What is pointed out above as self-drawing beanstalk? I'm like really confused now. Oh, sure, yeah, yeah, yeah. Creature there is like pretty good. I think we can tutor for. Oh my God! Both arbors in my yard. That's bad. I might have just lost the game because of that. Because, but we'll see. Mm, Hmm. I think the line there was just to green sun for another artisan and just pass. But the beanstalk is actually starting to take over the game for what it's worth too. So um, hard to say. Hard to say. Because max would be at five if I didn't attack and just if I had done it correctly, I green sun for artisan. So my line there was like green sun for arbor, untap with Quirion Ranger, and then attack with a 7/7 essentially, right? But if I had not realized that the arbor was in the yard, I should have gotten the fiend artisan and then maybe wait a turn. The I don't even know what Rite of Undoing is, HC Fox. All right. I think we can finish the last match. I think I've done that from time to time where like I'll forget the arbors in the yard, and then oh sorry, both arbors are gone, and then I do a play that like cost me the game because I have something else set in mind, right? So my line, like I said, was to green sun for zero, get an arbor, pitch the Arbor for Queen Ranger, grow the Ranger, and then attack that way. Now, granted, I wasn't out of the woods yet, so to speak, because the Murktide was getting bigger. I don't even know. I think it was like 11-11 at that point, right? So I think there's a chance we lose regardless. So this is like a pretty cool build off what is it called? Off the delve threats, right? So pretty cool for sure. I don't know what the split is. I'd imagine maybe like 3-2 or something, or 4-1. But link above. Okay. This is like a mode of 5 already. You have a hoof and you have 4 hands. Better. I think yeah. I'm. It's hard to say, right? Like it's only one match, so I think it's hard to draw conclusions already. But I actually have felt good about the Delver matchup, but I don't even know if you can call that Delver anymore because it's probably cut Delver. I imagine based on what I saw. Um, I don't actually. What do we want here? I don't think we want Kamen Ranger here. I think we want the Shepherd here because we're gonna hit land drops regardless, presumably. Now, if we had gone Stifle there, I would feel silly. Not to mention we gotta force the Artisan through, right? Maybe they. I forgot what the 1 mana counter is. Alright, they forced that because they see we have the Shepherd. I think that's fine. Good games, Max. I like totally spaced out that both arbors were gone, but I think given how the game played out there, I'm not sure it would have mattered. I think here I want to test for. You never know when they're gonna have Stifle, right? Yeah, I think the one thing I really like was like DRC potentially flipping Beanstalk is like pretty neat. I think. All right, that's interesting. I guess this feels like Ren and Six. Okay, interesting. I haven't played it obviously. Ooh, okay. To make a judgment call, I will. For what it's worth, Max here was one of the early innovators of Ren and Six. So you know, I will take Max's word for it that it is on the very high, maybe ban worthy power level. But so far 4-0, right? I don't know what we're playing against here. Also, for the record, Max, I was 3-0 too, so that was a pretty neat 3-0 mirror match, I guess, right? Or 3-0 bracket. I think it was 0-2 as well, right? So like, yeah, pretty convincing, I think. It's probably gonna bounce this. I imagine it's earmarked, but I don't think they have a choice, to be honest. Yeah, let's try to keep it civil. I think is the only thing I ask. Um, so we can force Gris through here. That's probably what we would get with Fiend Artisan anyways. All right, later on, Max. So I think we want to do that. Like I said, that's probably what we get with it anyways. The Gris. I don't know if they have an answer for this card. I actually don't think they do. Oh, I guess that's an answer. That's annoying. Now we can't attack. Ugh. Why are we playing against a Stoneblade player in 2023? We'll pass. They want to attack the Gris, they can, and then that means we just attack back for a bunch, right? I don't want to say the scary card here, unfortunately. Sure. I mean, they probably have to attack, to be honest. I mean, I guess that's one way of calling it, right? Oh, that was a mistake. In case they like Snapcaster here or something. That actually that might have been correct. Only I guess they have no choice. Like they can do it anyways. So maybe like we get punished by like a daze or something here. Ponder, okay. The good thing is Fiend is not big enough so that it actually doesn't die to the true name, and we're just gonna go like attack mode, so to speak. They take the Gris off the board. That actually grows it. That's good. Oh my god, that's the card I was afraid of. Well, that's really annoying. I'm trying to map out in my head now what a win looks like, and I cannot believe I'm gonna lose to this. This is rather unfortunate. I wonder if they. So the thing here is like, if I get a Queen Ranger here, I can pitch the thing and still attack with the Fiend. Does the Queen Ranger actually do anything here though? It allows me to untap the Bayou, but like, does that actually accomplish anything? They want to block that and take 7. I think maybe that's okay with us. That is a sigh of relief. If for some reason they have days at this point. Kind of free, I guess. Mm-hmm. So So a Quirion Ranger here doesn't actually net me mana. I can cast the natural order. The thing is already gone, the Allosaurus Shepherd, so it's not protected. If I attack both, they double block one. That dies, gains four, that doesn't do anything. I pitch here to the Quirion Ranger, that doesn't do anything. I think we dig here. Hierarchy here is like pretty interesting. Actually, I would have screwed up. The Ranger is already gone, so I can't even do that. What's the odds that they have another force here? They pitch force. We're essentially waiting one turn so we can hardcast the natural order. Reclaimer doesn't do anything with the back to basics out. Sure. We know they don't have removal because they would have just. I think here is the moment of truth. Actually, I like royally f that up because like I tapped this without realizing. I should have just gotten a land and got a basic. Like what? That was just a complete brain fart. Here we get it. We don't get punished. Like luckily. Oh my god, better lucky than good. I like royally f that up too. So okay, the mistake was I forgot about the back to basics, and I needed to tap the arbor, which is like doesn't untap for the hierarch. So the play was get the land and then fetch for arbor, but I like didn't get punished for the misplay. Better lucky than good. Like that's all I'm gonna say, I guess. All right. Now what do we do here? No endurance. So the question is like, do we get C's or do we play? I don't think we saw. I think we get C's. Needle's like maybe okay, but doesn't answer the thing. Actually, if I'm gonna needle on a Stoneforge Mystic, I'd rather just like play the Snuff out, right? think I'm getting that. To snuff out to Thoughtseize, probably Seize. It's more flexible. I don't think I like Bog, but it could be relevant. Uh, we saw a Snapcaster, I think. Actually, yeah, I think I like the Bog better because you never know it's gonna be relevant. Maybe we can salvage the 4-1 here. I think we keep, but I don't love it. I think we keep, but I don't love it. What just happened? Our opponent just skipped through the turn. I think here's an example where like we're flooded, so I'm just not gonna cast Mox. It's equivalent to a 5-land hand, right? Otherwise, we kept like a 4-lander more or less, and then drew a 5th land, but I don't mind, I guess. It could be like extra speed for a turn or something, but I'm assuming we have like flood issues at the moment. I think also a lot of people attribute these hands to like Mox is bad when a land is just as bad in this case. I think we seize here and see what's up. Prismatic Ending, Plow, Stoneforge. Did they shuffle? They chose not to shuffle. That's interesting. We don't see white, like, and I think we take the brainstorm here and hope we get lucky. To bog or not to bog here? I think to not bog. Alright, the ponder was off the top. If they don't have a white here, they are in serious trouble. Probably the swords on the reclaimer, I would imagine. Yeah. There's no universe. We're not slamming Atraxa here. I don't care if they Teferi it. Also, there's just a straight up chance that Atrax. Well, that's even better. Pending can't deal with it. Stoneforge not good enough. Oof, not the best. Somehow we whiff pretty badly. Do we Mez Fiend them or? Problem is that Mez Fiend has to take the pending, so it doesn't actually stop. Well, So the problem is like whatever we take here is gonna get pending. Though the what happens is I think it's still artisan. That was a bad Atraxa. But that's what happens sometimes when you board out snuff out though, for what it's worth. That was a bad Atraxa. Stoneforge. That is pretty good. Wow. I'm like drawing hot. Jace? I can't let that happen. What am I doing here? I think I want to bog here so they don't like top deck Snapcaster or something. Yeah, this is, so that Jace, that top deck thing would have been nice. Although to be fair, we like drew horribly off the Atraxa. They probably prismatic the Fiend here, and then that sets up Batterskull. Oh, they do that. That's kind of funny. I guess that top they're scared of a top deck. Another whatever, another exalted, right? That they lose otherwise. What am I getting here? Probably a Gris. Actually, if I animate the layer here, actually I want the layer. I think just in case. I don't want to be greedy. If I put in that, I don't think we care. They go to 2. And let's see if they have anything left. Oh my god, really? Although, to be fair, we did top deck the Seas. That's kind of annoying. The problem is we tick down, it just like bounces the thing back. It's like super annoying. I think we can like continually grow our army for what it's worth. Here we can like lock out a We can double block. This goes to. I think we do that. Take this off the board. They want to kill the Bowmasters. I think this can go to 1. Actually, that was bad. I should just keep plussing 1. Oh my god, I'm getting punished. Terrible. If I just like slow down there, I just block the thing that goes to 4 and just like keep plussing every turn. I don't think then it doesn't matter, right? Instead I get like super punished now. That's on me. That is on me. Yeah, I didn't think it through. Like, what I should have done was just like take the 1. The grist goes to whatever it was. I guess here we'll find out they have a second equipment here. Cauldron. Didn't see the Hydra. I think here we sort of need to kill the Mystic. Because the Cauldron is going to be a problem. Maybe we don't care. I feel like we do. We're at 38. So maybe we don't care. If we actually that works, I think. No. We're short 1, unfortunately. Like what I want to do is like kill the Cauldron. The problem is I kill a Cauldron, then this chumps a turn. I think that's okay. I think we're gonna save that for Fiend to rebuild. The Moxie are hurting us, but land is not that much better. That's a pretty good draw. Actually, before I do anything, I'm just gonna plus. All right, and now I think the Fiend will hopefully take over the game. This is gonna continue to chump block. We know their hand. They can't attack anymore. Because our Fiend is humongous. What? Interesting. Maybe they're just trying to gain life? I don't know. Um, if we mill grit, hoof, we mill hoof. I think we want lethal here. Wow. Okay, we pulled that out. I thought we were gonna lose after they dealt with the Atraxa, but we did draw hot, and then we like our opponent drew the swords when they needed to. We did miss off the Atraxa, but you know that can't happen when you board out the snuff outs, right? List felt pretty good. We lost to Max on the rug, beanstalk list. I'll bring it up here again. The Quinn Ranger would have been relevant against these like back to basic type decks. I think overall I'm like okay with it. You can play the second Shepherd. I think that's what Jurg played and what I had on Patreon before. The whole point was to see if this was going to be relevant today. We did tutor for it and miscalculated, but we still won the game. I think overall I do like it because it beats non-basic hate, which is like one way people can try to cheese wins against us. Also, Shepard, a lot of times like having the one just to like force something through is like enough. I think like it's not really a card I want to see early. Like we saw in one of the games, we took the Ranger over the Shepherd just because I don't want to see this card. Like it's kind of a bad early game card. The mana base, I think the lair was impressive. I think a few times I was happy with that. I think two mocks is good. Like we drew two for some reason an abnormal amount tonight, but we still were able to work through it. I think typically you'll draw only one when you're only playing two, and when it's good, it's very good. I think when it's bad, it's only like marginally worse than a land, in my opinion. I also like that's why I think I try to weigh when it's good versus when it's bad, and I think when it's good, it's just far better than when it's bad. So um, that's why I like the two. I just don't want to draw two is the only issue with that. And I think overall, let's look at the details. It would have been nice to draw the snuff out. I think against Max, but we didn't. I forget what some of these are. Like the snuff out was like relevant. I think against or would have been against Merfolk. I don't remember what ghost pattern was on. One of them was like a reanimator player. I think that might have been ghost pattern maybe. Yeah, I think that was. So it doesn't do that either. You can obviously change the split. Instead of 2-2, if you don't like Snuff, I can play like 4 Endurance or whatever you want main. Or even play Thoughtseize main. New Brack, what are they on? Oh, they're the standstill player. That couldn't beat a Gris. So yeah, I think overall I like the deck. For your local meta, I consider like these kind of the flex spots. Two Gris is like necessary in case something happens to the first, right? Also, I just want to draw it naturally. Three is where I draw the kind of the line and why I have a lot of twos in this deck. Two means it's a card I want to see, but maybe not in multiples. Like I don't want to like tutor for a Gris and top deck a Gris, right? It's kind of bad. Like one of the games we just the Stoneblade game we played against. Um, Same thing with Bowmasters. Like some matchups, I don't really want to see it. That's why I'm only playing two. I get asked a lot. Oh, why not play four? Because you have Guy's Cradle, and it's good with Artisan too. Anything is good with Artisan in this deck for its worth. Good with Cradle's valid. That's why I like two instead of like one. I just don't think I want to draw Mogwar Marshal multiple times, especially since the second Mogwar Marshal is not even a Mogwar Marshal. It puts a +1/+1 counter, which is arguably worse in our deck. Um, Sideboard is like pretty stock. I think the Mesfine I was pretty happy for mapping reasons, especially Mox makes us a little bit worse against control, so I like this for that reason. The Fairy, I like it in theory, and it did kill two DRCs for what it's worth. Um, but overall, I don't think I would change it. This list felt really good, and our loss was to Max on a deck that uh, I do think if it becomes popular, for instance, we can address it. But as of right now, I feel okay about it. Like also, there's things we can like board differently too if need be, if it's a problem, right? Like we board and keep it in the natural order package if we feel like we can't maybe outgrind the beanstalks, for instance. So that's like one way I think I may change how I board against Max if I felt like uh, the endurance grind plan was not going to beat stock for what it's worth. Also, yeah, I think that's about it, right? Anybody have any questions for me? Here's my socials again, and I think I was pretty happy with the list today. Nice 4-1. If there's no other questions, I'll go ahead and raid. Let's see. Anybody request first of all? Anybody who I can raid whoever you request. And then if not, then I can raid Nova Magic. They're playing Modern Scam. All right, if there are no questions, I'll go ahead and raid Dova Magic then. And thank you for everyone for coming tonight again. Good luck on your fantasy football season. And I think this list felt good tonight. The numbers felt pretty right. Our loss, like, I would have to review a little bit, but it was pretty close, both game one and two.